Hi there, Arun. Let's take a look at this new set of essays you've sent. This is about doing part-time jobs. Here's what you wrote. Experts from both the developing and developed worlds have debated the advantages and drawbacks of part-time jobs while studying. This essay will discuss the pros and cons of undertaking such employment using relevant examples from the research carried out in the UK and India to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, it's fine, except there's one major problem. It asks you very specifically something here. It asks if there are more benefits than there are drawbacks and if they are stronger. So all you tell me in this essay is that you're going to discuss the pros and cons, but you haven't answered the question, and it's really in your best interest to answer the question as early as the introduction, okay? And the reason for this is that if you look at the band descriptors for task 2, if you look at task achievement band 7, it says that it expects you to present a clear position throughout the essay. Throughout means from the beginning. So whenever there is some sort of command, and there always is some sort of a command, you really need to address it in the introduction. All right, let's move on. There is ample evidence to prove that not the part-time job, there's not just one part-time job in the world, so let's make it plural. So that part-time jobs cause stress, paucity of time, and disinterest among the teenagers. This is an unnecessary word. It's not appropriate here. And then it's not the teenagers, it's just teenagers. The reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, now I don't know why you have a dash here and then a capital. I also disagree with the use of a dash here. It's a little informal. So I would prefer to see one of two things. Either use a semicolon or a full stop and then a new sentence. So firstly, they get limited time to study after their college hours due to work commitments, which causes anxieties during the examination time. Secondly, because of earnings, students are able to meet their expenses and make it distracted from their prime purpose of education. For instance, not a research, we call it a study, but we say research without the A. So research carried out by the Boston Consultant Group from UK found that 12% of undergraduates who worked while studying faced issues in clearing exams, and 8 did not complete their education. Therefore, it's conclusively clear that part-time jobs impact students negatively. Okay, I was unclear about this. I just wanted to read it again. It's strange. You say that because of their earnings, they get distracted from their prime purpose. I don't really understand that. So why do their earnings keep them from their prime purpose? So while you gave a piece of support here, you didn't really explain something I thought needed to be explained. So how do you link the fact that they can cover their expenses with this distraction from their education? So when you make a statement like that, it's really important to support the statement because it's not clear on its own. So, and you can't assume that your reader understands that link. So what you wrote here is the kind of thing that you need to explain. Perhaps you mean that students are out spending their money rather than studying, or maybe you mean that because they are kind of bitten by the money bug, as it were, they work more and more so that they gain more money and then focus less on their studies. So there's so many ways to interpret this sentence that you wrote that it's really important you explain it, okay? Great, you gave this piece of support here, but it doesn't support what you should be supporting. It doesn't explain what you should be explaining. All right, let's move on. Now, you can't put a comma after although because it belongs with the clause that follows it. So it should just read, although there is evidence against part-time jobs without the long-term impact of the same cannot be understated. Long-term impact cannot be overstated, perhaps, you mean? I think that's what you really mean, not overstated. Not understated, you mean overstated. This is due to the fact that students gain valuable experience of the external world while at work and simultaneously earn in order to fund their petty expenses like purchase of books, travel, and snacks. For instance, in India, statistics published by the central government revealed that 30% of the students worked in temporary jobs in order to earn and gain the necessary skills. Hold on a minute. You're talking to me. Necessary skills. Okay, fine. Thus, it is possible to state that such jobs, if kept as a secondary focus area, can be beneficial to students in the future. All right. Let's see. What are you saying? You're saying that they get experience and also get money. Okay, so that's two benefits. Fine. Here, what did you tell me? You told me that they make money. Okay, oh yeah, so got it. Here you said that it causes stress, anxiety. Okay, you mentioned anxiety, lack of time, and lack of interest. Okay, fine, good. I'm just thinking aloud. I'm trying to make sure that you didn't include one benefit and one disadvantage, but you actually included benefits, plural, and disadvantages, plural, and you did that, so fine. However, I did feel like you could have said a little more here. I felt like you could have extended this paragraph and go into a little more detail, but it's fine. All right. Based on the examples S and arguments mentioned, I firmly believe that part-time jobs, know the here, can inhibit in the process of education. In future, this could lead to profound impact. Okay, this could lead to a profound impact on the dropout rates from university. Interesting. Okay, so in the end, you are in favor of this paragraph. Now, because of that, that means that the order of your paragraphs is wrong. We always talk about the paragraph that we don't support first, and then we talk about the paragraph that we do support. So let me explain to you what that would mean for you. You didn't tell me in the beginning of your essay which side you were in favor of. Then, because it's a convention of essay writing to put the paragraph that you support last and the paragraph that you don't support first, if an examiner were to read this, there's no information here about which side you're in favor of. And then here you have the opposite order of paragraphs. So reading this, I would think, okay, well, Arun basically is in favor of jobs, okay, because you put this paragraph second. And then I get to your conclusion, and it's totally unexpected. You then tell me that no, I'm against part-time jobs. So you can see that this really leads to a lot of confusion. And this kind of thing will not benefit you, both in terms of task achievement, okay, because your position is not clear throughout, and then there's not a logical order of your paragraphs. So you're going to see both of those scores decline as a result of this sort of thing. But the solution is really easy. You simply answer whatever command they give you, okay? This is the command today. You answer it in the introduction, and then you make sure that the side that you don't support comes first, and then last comes the side you support, and then you're in a much better position. All right, we spent a ton of time on this. Let's look at, what is this? Okay. This is your task 1. I don't have an image here, and it doesn't look like it will open for me. Let's see. Let's just check first if it will open. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, it doesn't want to open, but fortunately for both of us, I know this this task 1 like the back of my hand. Let's see. Summarizing. Okay. The pie chart illustrates 7 different subjects, comma, namely PE, history. Okay, great. You named them all. And not its preference, but their preference, because it's plural, 7 of them, among school students of in Germany. Okay. Overall, PE and history are the most preferred subjects, and IT was the least of all. Lovely. Fine. According to the pie chart, the most favorite topic among children of this school was PE and history. not having, this is awkward here, and not statistics. I want you to use more appropriate language here. So I see your note too. We'll talk about that in a minute. You could have said with figures or with proportions at this and this. More than 18% of students like to learn topics related to maths and physics. Okay, now this is a smart thing to do when you have a lot of information, but the way you extend this particular pie chart is by really kind of dragging out the information, giving some details about it. Here you lumped maths and physics together when there was no reason to. What I would have done instead is I would have stretched out those two pieces of information, and I would have also said how they are different. So you have this thing about PE and history at 22, and then I would have said that the next two subjects had approximately a 4% or 3%, whatever the case is, difference with the previous two or something like that. And then say specifically, maths had 19.1. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but maths had 19.1. Followed by physics with 0.3% less or whatever it is. Okay, so really you have to stretch out these pieces of information. Okay, so in terms of biology and geography, there seems to be a significant dislike with only 7% and 6.4% of the total students preferring these subjects in comparison to the top four. Favoritism towards IT. I don't really like that word favoritism. It's preference, okay? So preference towards IT was lowest with only 3.7% of the students preferring to learn the subject. Okay, so you face a lot of difficulty there. It's your vocabulary is not really the problem, and yeah, okay, there was a couple of places where it was, but really what you need to do is you need to stretch out this answer. Like for example, one of the things that I really I saw it recently, and I was so happy to see it because it's something I'd wanted to see for like months, but you need to stretch it out and make relevant comparisons. Otherwise, it just feels very mechanical. So one nice thing to say is that if you add up those lowest three, okay, so if you add up geography, biology, and IT, you'll see that together that percentage is still less than the fourth choice. Okay, so it's really a huge difference. Or you can make other sorts of connections. You could say, for example, that IT, the lowest score, had only 1/7 the popularity of the top preference. Okay, so you have to make connections like that. It's about comparison language. You said that there was no comparison to be made between two charts, and that's true. But instead, what you need to do is you need to make comparisons within the chart, okay, by doing the sorts of things that I just mentioned. All right, so go ahead, Arun, and correct these, and let's see some more work from you soon. All right, good luck.